Let's get more now on the global financial crisis. Mark Bloomfield was a tax advisor during President-elect Ronald Reagan's tenure and is with the American Council for Capital Formation, which provides economic analysis. As you can see, he joins me now from Washington. Thanks for joining us here on BBC News, Mr. Bloomfield. First of all, on the night of one of the US election debates, you've got plenty of experience of advising would-be presidents. What do you think the candidates should be talking about this evening? What sort of advice and promises should they be giving to help this financial crisis?
Well, to the extent that they can, and I'm not sure how much they can, given the tremendous skepticism among the American public around the world, is try to put forth some sense of confidence that the government, this government, and the governments around the world are trying their best to deal with the crisis. But I appreciate your comment about the president-elect, because what I am focusing on now is the challenge that is before us. That is to say, in 30 days, there will be a new president elected. But that president won't assume office for some 74 days. And what I'm concerned about is the transition between one government to the next government, at least in the United States, because what we've seen so far is no magic silver bullet that will solve this problem, but the beginning of a process. And that is what is critically important. I should point out that one of the problems in the 30s was there were 4 months before Roosevelt took over from Hoover. And even though Hoover wanted the two governments to work together, there was little going on until Roosevelt took over. And I hope that's not the case in this transition.
Well, let's talk about one of those silver bullets you mentioned. We haven't seen much tangible evidence that that bailout plan, the $700 billion bailout plan that was agreed last week, has necessarily had any effect yet. Perhaps it's too soon, but is there a kind of a lag time on this kind of thing?
Well, there is a lag time. I think one thing that it was supposed to do is try to stabilize the financial markets. While we're trying to stabilize the financial markets, and perhaps we've started to do that, all of a sudden, secondly, we had a big hit on Main Street in the real economy. That is to say, we are now beginning to dip into, unfortunately, a severe recession. And the investors in the market looked at that as much as they saw an attempt to deal with the credit markets. And you add a third factor, and that is we're not only dealing with a credit crunch in the United States, a recession in the real economy, but we have a worldwide financial and economic problem. And I think that's one reason why the markets are not reassured.
OK, Mark, I'm afraid we're out of time. It's a fascinating conversation, but sure one will continue at another point in time. Mark, thank you very much indeed for joining us.
I would enjoy it. Thank you.